play. Steve and Michael begin lighting up the way. Abnormal investigations, whispers in the trees. With boots on the ground, I'm chasing mysteries. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. I'm on the ancient woods where legends come alive. I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Footsteps on the trail, echoes in the night, searching for the secrets hidden from the light. Cryptids roam the wild under the moon's embrace. With every rustle in the leaves, I feel their haunting grace. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Each night a new adventure in the depths of the unknown. With passion in my heart, I'll walk this path alone. But with every discovery, I know I'm not afraid. For in the woods of wonder, true wonders are made. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I'll walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. So here's to the night where the strange comes to be. With boots firmly planted on where I'm meant to be. In the heart of the night, where the shadows play, Steve and Michael begin lighting up the way. Abnormal investigations, whispers in the trees. With boots on the ground, I'm chasing mysteries. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. shadows in the night, searching for the secrets hidden from the light. Cryptids roam the wild under the moon's embrace. With every rustle in the leaves, I feel their haunting grace. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods, where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Each night a new adventure in the depths of the unknown. With passion in my heart, I'll walk this path alone. But with every discovery, I know I'm not afraid. For in the woods of wonder, true wonders are made. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I'll walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods, where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. So here's to the night where the strange comes to be, with boots firmly planted on where I'm meant to be.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about some recent werewolf reports that have come in. It seems that the werewolves are making a comeback. We have some werewolf reports out of Cambodia, and we also have some werewolf reports out of Mexico. Now, these reports are pretty interesting to me because I know that a lot of what they talk about in these are things that I actually experienced at my granny's house and I can only imagine what these people are going through and what they feel like. Um, it's pretty sad, some of what we're going to talk about tonight. Some of it's going to be hard for you to hear if you're animal lovers, because these things, they love animals, just not the way that probably most of us love animals. But it is nonetheless very interesting what I found. These creatures, from what I could find, I've been looking around, and they are starting to become more prominent as far as people having encounters with them, as far as personal encounters to where they are able to see these creatures. I'm not sure what's really going on, but you can tell that there is definitely something evil going on in Cambodia and Mexico. So, uh, excuse me, allergies are at me just a little bit tonight. Um, Before we jump into it, let's see who's in chat tonight. We got Keith here. We got Jackie Burns in here tonight. Good to see you, Jackie. We got Donna here. Good to see you, Donna. We got Keith in the house. We got Lynn. We got Bosses in here. Good to see you with Psychic Connections, Inner Psychic Connections. So good to see you. Cheryl Wood is here tonight. Good to see you. Vicky Brown, it is so good to see you. Vicky, I have you wrote down to be able to talk to you. Unfortunately, me and you have had a lot of things come up here lately, but Vicky, I do have you down to speak with you. I would like to get you on just as soon as possible. I've been also going to get in touch with Drew. If anybody sees Drew tonight, let him know that I am also looking to have a conversation with him, and we will get you all on the show just as soon as we can. So those should be some pretty good shows also. I know you all are eager to get on and to tell your stories. We have more and more people reaching out to us, guys, wanting to come on and tell their stories. That is always a good thing. I love it whenever y'all reach out to me and you say, hey, I want to come on your show and I want to share some things. There's Nanny Pam 63, guys. Don't let her fool you. It should say 73. Not joking. I had to do that. She's not really 73, but she acts about 23, I think. But we got Lanita in here tonight. Good to see you, Lanita. Thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate y'all coming in, guys. It's a little bit weird tonight being solo. It kind of feels like the old days, how I started out the channel, except for I don't have the TV behind me with the game playing and answering questions to my little ones. So, but tonight, guys, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to look at some of these encounters, and we're going to talk about it, guys. We're going to sit around just like family, and we're going to have a discussion about it, a round table, if you will, and we're just going to see what we can all come up with tonight, because I know we have a lot of smart people in the chat tonight. There's sunshine dropping in, and you all always have some very amazing ideas, and I appreciate that. So I think we're going to have a really, really, really fun night tonight. So we were talking about one of my boots on the ground, me and the moderators, and one of the things that we had noticed that a lot of people still talk about today was something that I had captured on a boots on the ground. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, well, the next boots on the ground that we do is actually going to be in this location. Now, this is going to blow your mind. I actually had a person reach out to me about 3 to 4 days ago, which I called the moderators and I said, hey guys, we got something going on. And they were like, what's up? I said, well, we had a report to where somebody had sent me a thing and they said that they saw something. They wasn't sure what it was. And whenever I read the report, I was like, what in the world is going on here? Because this is a place that I have been to. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to get to this place because we're getting rain right now, but we are going back because this report is really, really interesting. But oh my goodness, Sunshine's having Oreos tonight. We're in trouble now. She's going to be all jacked up on Oreos and Mountain Dew. But what we're going to do is anyways, this report that I got, these people said that they were down at this location. They were planning on camping. They were planning on fishing, right? So whenever they got down there, they heard what sounded like a growl. Okay. Now, this was not a normal growl. Okay. The man and lady that called me, we had a conference call. They said this growl was not like a bear. It wasn't like a werewolf. It wasn't like anything like that. They said what it reminded them of was the sound on Lake Placid. Whenever you hear the alligator kind of do that gurgling, I don't know if you even call an alligator a growl or not. Is that even considered a growl, guys? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is that called something else other than a growl? I'm not sure. But anyways, they said that they heard that noise and they were like, what in the world is that? And they were trying to figure it out. They couldn't figure out exactly what was going on. Well, of course, they done what all of us fishermen do. They decided that they was going to stay and they was going to fish, right? So they get all their bait on. And I've also wondered if maybe the bait that we take whenever we go fishing might be something that lures these creatures in, because they said they had opened the bait, which they were using punch bait, which y'all know what punch bait is. We called it stink bait. And they were using cut shad. Well, y'all know that all that bait actually has its own smell. So with that being said, they also done something else. They had stopped on their way to the fishing spot and they had bought their kids something to eat and some snacks. So they were eating. They had some chicken dinners. They had I think they said a hamburger and just a bunch of things they had bought. Well, they were sitting there and they were eating. Of course, you got all this food smell, going out over the woods. You got the stink bait. You got the cut shad. You're sitting down there. Evening time's coming. Prime opportunity whenever these things come out. And the next thing you know, they hear this. That's the best I can do it. That's how they did it. By the way, that's copyrighted, just in case you want to know, you clowns that are watching. But anyways, they heard that noise. And they were like, what in the hell is that? They could not figure it out. So they start looking around. They told the kids, hey guys, come on up here by the fire. We heard something out there. We don't know what it is, but there's definitely something going on, and we think you all need to come up close. So she said they called the kids up. Now keep in mind, they have their tent put up. And when they have their tent put up, oh, a hiss. Okay, maybe a hiss. That's right, T-Bone. T-Bone's got my back. So they said that they had these tarps tied to ropes that kind of made like a square around them to give them some privacy. So if a car pulled up, the headlights wouldn't just shine on them at night, because you got some weirdos out there, man, that will come down there and just shine their lights on you and sit there and watch you. So they're sitting there and they hear this. Again, copyrighted. But they were sitting there and they could not figure out what this noise was. So they keep fishing, right? And they said they're sitting there and they're fishing and they hear something. It sounds like it's out in the water swimming. And this lady said, now it doesn't sound like a fish. It doesn't sound like, something that should be out there like a gar or a carp, or it doesn't sound like shad flipping. She said, this sounds different. It sounds like something is cutting its way through the water. She said, when you're swimming with friends and one of your friends, they're like dog paddling or they're swimming and you can hear the waves, right, coming off the body. So you know that there's something going through the water. Well, she said they kept hearing it. Well, down from them, from where they was at, there's an old road that runs through the old trees down there, right? I know exactly where this is at. You're going to see why in just a second. I'm going to show you a video. So they said they were sitting there and they looked down toward this old road, right? And they think they see somebody walking. And they start watching it and they're like, what in the world is that? Tim, thank you for that, man. God bless you so much for that. And they said they were trying to figure out what they was looking at. Whatever they was watching, what the weird thing is, it did not walk out of the woods. Here's the thing, guys. It walked out of the water. Okay? So now You're sitting down on this lake, and I know exactly where they're talking about. You don't walk out there in the water in dark. Trust me. Something will eat you. But whatever was out there, it come walking out of the water. And they said whenever it come walking out of the water, it had a long nose on it, like a long snout, right? And they said the snout on it, this is what's weird to me. Y'all are going to see why it's weird. They said the snout on it looked like an alligator, like a big alligator snout, you know, rawr, rawr, rawr. Big alligator. So they look at it as it's walking out. It's walking bipedally, and it has a tail. It's got a long tail coming down off the back of it. It's walking out of the water. It stops, and the dad, he says, he has a Coleman flashlight. He said you can call it a spotlight, but it's not really a spotlight, but it's got the handle on it and all. He says pretty bright. So he said I reached over and I grabbed the spotlight and I pointed it out where it was at. And he said I lit it up. And he said when I did, I'd never seen a head on anything like what I was looking at. He said the eyes were sitting on top of its head and forward facing. Its head come down kind of like a duck, and it had like a large mouth. He said it come out like that. Really weird looking. Had a tail. It's walking bipedally. And he said the weird thing was it had what appeared to be hair. Now, he said it did not look like fur. He said it looked like hair. He said it was long, stringy hair, because the reason he called it hair is, he said, because whenever he shined the light on it, you could see through the hair and you could see the skin of this thing. And he said it looked reptilian. He said it looked like something with alligator skin, but it had long, stringy, thin, coarse hair. It scared them pretty bad. They had their kids with them. The mom, when I was talking to her, she got really, really upset. And she went to tears. She did. She had tears. She was crying on the phone. She said, I'd never seen anything like that. She said, me and my husband, we've hunted this place many times, and they've crossbow hunted and all that kind of stuff. And she's from the same area that I'm in. They actually live in the town just right over from me. And she said, we'd heard about you, she said, but, you know, she said, we really just never thought about those kind of things being down there. You know, it's not something that we really believed in. But she said, now, she said, we don't have a choice but to believe in it. She said, because when you see it walk out in front of you and it makes that, she said it was so deep you could feel it in your chest. Well, it walks out of the lake, walks across this old road that's been shut down for years, walks off into the swamp. And the weird thing is, she said, is while she's watching it walk off into the swamp, and guys, I'm telling you, where this thing walked in at, it is the snakiest, swampiest, muddiest. I mean, you wouldn't catch a buck-toothed hillbilly walking down there barefooted. Trust me. There ain't nothing going to be walking in here, guys. I promise you. Not by itself. So they're watching it walk in. And while they're watching it, she said, it gets out there in the mud and it lays down on its belly and kind of slithers into the mud, she said, like a snake or a lizard or something like that would. She said it was really weird. So the husband tells them, okay, guys, we're going to pack up. We're going to leave. We're not going to stay down here. So they packed up and they left. The next day, the husband said he couldn't help but go down and try to find out, was there any, footprint or any tracks. So he goes back down there. He told me the next day. And whenever he went down there the next day, hey, Shannon, good to see you. Welcome in. Glad you was able to make it tonight. We've missed you too. He says, I walked down where it had crossed at. And he said, when I walked down where this creature had crossed at, you could see three-toed footprint with a back claw, looked like a back claw, where this thing had come out of the water. He said it came up out of the water and it walked across what we call down here silt. It had walked across the silt up onto the road, and it had smashed the rock down in the road. It was heavy enough that it actually had smashed the rock down in the road and it walked over. But he said the weird thing was, and this is what was really weird, you could see where it was dragging its tail. Whatever this was, it was dragging a tail, walking bipedally, large front mouth and eyes. Now, what the mom and the her husband, what they were arguing about on the phone with me, and they kind of got kind of heated with each other, is one believes what they saw was possibly a werewolf or a dog man. The other believes that it may actually be something crossed with an alligator. I asked them how tall they thought this creature was. They guessed it between 7 and 8 foot tall. Okay, so if you remember back when me and my mom had went to this same location we were fishing, we had an experience where we had something that was green walked up to the tree and was looking through the tree at us. I first thought it was a large bullfrog sitting in the tree. It wasn't, but I thought it was because my eyes hadn't adjusted yet from the fire and the lanterns. I later went back and measured where it was standing and where it was looking through the fork of that tree. And when I measured that, it was a little over 9 foot. I think it was like 9 foot 3 inches is how tall this thing would have been. Me, my mom, my brother-in-law, my sister, all witnessed this. He was not a believer. Okay. My brother-in-law did not believe in this stuff. He would have told you, but right now he won't even go fishing down there in the dark. He's had 2 bad encounters down there, and he said he's not going to have 3. But anyways, that had happened down there. We saw that thing. It was like 9 foot 3 inches. What I had saw, they were guessing it between 7 and 8 foot tall. It was green. It was scaly looking. What they saw was green and scaly looking. Now, what we saw did not have a large alligator mouth on it. This thing did. The mouth on it, they said, looked just like an alligator or a crocodile. They said it was crazy looking. It made that, that sound. A hiss, as T-Bone corrected me a while ago. I think he said it was a hiss. But I got to thinking, how many times have we heard that down there when we was down there, right? I've wondered that so many times, is that what we're hearing? I don't know. But I thought it was weird that they were having an encounter at the same place we'd had that. Now, the reason that it was really weird to me is because I still have the video on here, guys. I'm going to show it to y'all, and that's a little hard to see. Now, this is the same location. I did not really see the creature whenever I filmed this. I had heard something, and I was filming in the general direction where I heard the noise. If you're out there boots on the ground like I am, and you got lights taped all over you with duct tape, and you got lights on your head and the lights in your hand, the lights taped everywhere, and you got a phone screen, shining a light in your face, it's kind of hard to see. So when I heard this that night, I started filming over toward the lake. And whenever I was filming over toward the lake, we got lucky and we caught something. I want to play the tape for you. I'll play it a few times. That way you can see it. There is a creature walking down the side of the lake where I go that I believe could pass for this alligator creature or whatever it is. So y'all look at this and tell me if you can tell. And I will play it a few times. Check this out. Just give it a little time. It'll lighten up and you'll be able to see it. I may try to work on this to see if I can enhance it. This is not enhanced. You're getting it just raw as I got it. You'll see it right about here. It's moving from left to right. I'll play it one more time for you. And I will try to enhance this for you and have a better video of it for you the next time we come on. That way you'll be able to See it better. See if we can get it to play one more time. Maybe. You'll see it move from left to right of the frame. Yeah, Cheryl, I wonder that too. So that right there is why I got excited about getting a report from that area, because whatever that is right there running, you can see that it has a tail on it, and it almost looks like, I don't know, like an alligator type looking creature. I'm not sure. I'll work on cleaning that up for you guys tonight to try to get a better video of that. But let me know in the chat, what do y'all think that is? Because I have no idea, and I had no idea then. So whatever y'all think that may or may not be, let me know, because I've been wondering about that for a long time. So jumping into tonight's encounter that we're going to talk about. Hello, Irish Blues. It's so good to see you tonight. My chat is a little weird because I've minimized my channel so I can see you guys and I can look at my notes. So if I miss anybody, it is not on purpose. But again, good to see you, Irish Blues. So what we got going on here, guys, is we have an animal. Now, this is going to sound really familiar to you guys. A mystery animal that has mauled and ate multiple dogs, and it ate their vital organs, has been identified. This is happening in Cambodia. Locals in villages close to a small forest were left petrified last summer after a mysterious creature devoured a number of dogs after the beast was caught. Authorities urged those in the area to remain vigilant. How many times have we heard that, right? Last summer, locals in villages close to a small forest were left terrified after a series of attacks by a strange animal that ate the intestines, liver, and lungs of the pet dogs in the area. This ferocious creature is believed to have killed 11 dogs in Cambodia, devouring the remains of 9 of them between June 18th of 2024. There was also a gentleman that had made a report to the authorities in the area that he had went out at approximately 1 a.m. and had took a walk down the dirt road to the well to collect some water. While he was collecting water, guys, he feels something slap him in the side of the face really hard. It's wet, it's hard, he can't see. He's soaked in something. It scares him. He takes off running. He gets all the way home. He's got stuff on his face, and he has parts of a dog on him. Whatever it was, chunked the leftovers, smashed him in the face with it. So the first 2 attacks happened actually in Prey Core Village in Sambor Commune, Romius Hek District, Save Province, where locals made the sickening discovery. Other grisly scenes were encountered at other villages in the area. While the villagers caught glimpses of this mysterious animal prowling outside of their homes, peeking in their windows, and watching their children in their homes. Children seem to, most of the time, I would think, or the prime target, most of the time, whatever these things are. As previously reported, local woman, her name was Miss, was 62 years old, who lives in the province, said that she came across an unusual sight one night while she was sitting in her home. She had went outside at approximately 1 a.m. on June 9th. After stepping outside her house with a flashlight, the 62-year-old woman spotted 2 animals resembling black bears with human similarities walking upright, which then fled at once. Some weeks later, on July 1st, it was announced that the animal had been captured by authorities and beaten to death by residents of the Kamchi Mir district of Prey Vang province. That's where it gets really pretty crazy right here. In a public statement, the authorities and deputy governor and spokesperson of Prey Vang province clarified that the attacks had been the first of their kind in the area, sharing how once authorities learned the gruesome incidents, the investigation was immediately launched. They were unable to identify the bodies of the creatures due to the immense beating that the villagers had given them. According to the Fayric attorneys and police, it appeared that the animal was some sort of a dog human. There you go. Living out in the forest. Although the beast had finally been caught, Fayric warned those in the area to remain vigilant, to keep an eye on their children, and to report any unusual animal sightings to the authorities without delay. It was also reported at the time the authorities were scouring for the region for other creatures of the same similarities. They were stealing dogs from the area. So they're still looking for whatever's out there. This is a human dog looking creature. The villagers hunted it down themselves. They, I guess, beat it to where it was unrecognizable. And I don't blame them. I mean, if I ran across something like that and seen something like that, I would probably beat it like that too. It's just not something you see every day. But I found something else that kind of went along with it. This follows the recent reports from Mexico where mysterious remains reportedly resembling a werewolf were found in the rural area of El Tunel, guys. If you want to look that up, it's Eltunel. In the municipality of, I'm not even going to try to do that word, located southeast of Mexican capital of Mexico City. After hearing the eerie screams in the dead of night, a group of petrified locals headed out at dawn to investigate, searching a wooded area. It was then that they made the nightmarish discovery. The remains of a bizarre beast around the same size as a sheep, with strange fur and teeth, lay on the ground. Most intriguingly, of the animal appeared to have hands like a human, but with claws where its fangs or where its fingernails should have been. According to the local report, when the locals went to see it, they found an animal the size of a lamb, with a rare jaw fur, with hands resembling a human, but instead of fingers it had claws, local says, and they named it a Noggle, Nagual. People in the area reported hearing a sheep-like monster, almost resembling a lamb, that lured children into the woods to try to find lost sheep, and the children never returned. 4 days later, 3 of the children were found strung from the trees, missing their internal organs. So, you tell me, guys, what in the world is going on right now? Why is there so many more encounters? Why are so many more people falling victim to whatever these creatures are? I mean, it almost seems like, is it because we're getting closer to the end of time? Is that veil dropping? Is the rules of engagement? Oh, scared silly. I think that you should, I'm not saying that people should be afraid of them, but I think you definitely need to respect them. I think that's very important because if you don't respect them, that's what it gets you, unalive. I think that we have to respect it. Like whenever I'm out there scared silly, and thank you for bringing that up, and you are a very good supporter, and we really like having you. I know you share a lot of our videos out. Thank you for that. I think that we have to treat them like we would any kind of dangerous animal in the woods that we would come across. Give them their space. Give them the opportunity to be able to flee. If you feel like that they're defending a territorial area, leave. Whenever I go down there, yeah, I do push probably a little too much at times, but there comes a point to where I'm like, you know what? It's time to call it. And whenever you know it's time to call it, don't be afraid to call it because, I mean, a lot of people, and most of them are the clowns that come in anyways. They'll tell you, oh, push, push, push. Don't, they're not out there, guys. I mean, we can go out there and have a quiet night, but y'all aren't experiencing what I'm experiencing. I know what's down there. It's scary enough to be out there in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, right? So if you're out there and I would even go as far to say scared silly, if you even start feeling like, hey, I need to leave, then it's time to leave, right? Good to see you, Walter. Missed you, man. It's been a while, or I've missed you all my lives and just haven't seen you, but thank you for being here, sir. Always good to see you. I hope you're doing well. If you're out there and you always, you get that feeling like, man, I'm being watched, or especially if you get that feeling that you want to run or you don't want to be there, leave. Um, there's been times down there whenever I left and I was just like, man, I wish we didn't have to leave. I think we could have got something. But then, you get to thinking about it and you're like, if it goes bad down here, it can go really bad. And it has gone bad for a lot of people. We know that, David Pilatus, he's covered so many, stories where people have gone missing and have never been found. And we're not talking about inexperienced hunters or hikers, or we're talking about people that have, a lot of experience hunting, a lot of experience hiking or the outdoors. And whenever you start losing people like that and you're not finding them, guys, there's something going on. I mean, you just know. I mean, it happens here a lot. I mean, there'll be people come up missing and they'll find them miles and miles away, guys. And what do they say? It was a drowning. Well, it was accidental. If it was accidental, and I'm going to try to get this guy to come on here. I'm friends with the first responder right down here where we do our boots on the ground. I'll try to get him to come on. Found two children, right? 200 yards from the water, stuck underneath a tree with cold, wet moss, branches, and leaves covering them. This happened around October. And they ruled it a drowning. How in the world is that a drowning? I could see if you found them at the edge of the water, but 200 yards from the water, underneath a log with wet leaves on you, wet limbs on you, that don't just happen. Something carried those two children that 200 yards, in my opinion, and placed them underneath there and attempted to conceal them. Now, he said if they wouldn't have had the dogs with them, they never would have found those children. He said, Mike, if we wouldn't have had the dogs, we never would have found them because they were 200 yards up in the middle of the thicket, man, underneath a log, a big tree that had fell, and they were actually concealed, right? Whenever something does that, that's not accidental. So whatever's down there, it has the intelligence to know to hide a body. That is a higher intelligence than any animal, right? So I think if you're down there scared silly and you feel like something's watching you and you need to get out of there, leave, guys. Don't stay somewhere where you don't feel safe. There are so many other places down there or any state where you're at that you can go camp, right? If you got a bad feeling at one place, go somewhere else. And if you keep getting bad feelings, then go somewhere where you pay and go inside. Go where you have wardens that watch you, That's right, coach. You're exactly right. And a lot of that stuff, and in my opinion, I stated as an opinion, is cover-ups. And yeah, exactly, man. Just like what Reverend PC saying, you got to follow your gut. Man, we got a lot of smart people in here tonight. I love this chat, guys. You guys are amazing. I love spending this time with you guys because y'all have such good information. I mean, I go down there sometimes, guys, to tell you the truth. And whenever I get down there, I don't even want to get out of the car when I pull up. Getting out of the car and just getting my gear on is hard enough. I don't even want to be there. And in the beginning, whenever I first started doing this with a lot of you guys, there was times I would pull up and we would leave and go somewhere else. I know a lot of you OGs will remember that. We did that a lot. And we would leave and we would go somewhere else and we would still have a good night because at the end of the night, we're all family here. This is a safe place for anybody. I'm not going to ban anybody for whoever you watch. You can watch whoever you want to, as long as you're respectful when you come here. Hey, you're welcome. You're family. Spirited debate, you're allowed to disagree. We don't care. Just disagree respectfully and professionally. I mean, we're all adults here, and we can't learn unless we all are willing to listen to each other's opinions. But the main thing is we all go home safe, and that everybody goes home to their families. Now, I would love to be able to hear those things and be able to get them on camera and to be able to show it to you guys. But I mean, there's times when it's going to be impossible. Like our last boots on the ground, I had a person ask me a question, which I think was a very good question. I said, "How do you stay down there when you have that stuff yelling like that?" Well, number one, you have to force yourself. Number two, what I'm hearing is I know on the other side of that creek. Now, could it cross the creek? Absolutely. But I just have that feeling sometimes that whatever it is isn't going to cross the creek. Um, yeah, Drew, I'm going to call you, dude. I promise. I'll try to call you tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay, bro? And we will get something set up for sure. But I just have this feeling that it's not going to cross the creek. You have that feeling sometimes. I feel like, man, it doesn't really want to engage me, but what it does want to do is just let me know that, hey, I'm over here, right? Don't come over here. Or you need to leave. You're really irritating me. You're okay. You've been here long enough, dude. You're down here yelling. And then there's sometimes before I get out of my car, when I even pull up, I feel like, oh, and just to be honest with you guys, it's like, oh shit, I don't want to be here. I want to leave. And I feel like I've got eyes in those trees and just, I mean, burning through me. And I'll get out of the vehicle. And I don't know, Sunshine will remember this because I just talked to her about it the other night. Sunshine, you remember that one night whenever I got out of the car and I pushed it and I said, I don't want to be here. And whenever I got out of the car, guys, I walked, I'm going to say probably 30 yards, 40 yards. Thank God I stopped to turn my GPS on and allow it to link up with the satellite, because if I wouldn't have stopped, I think I'd have been in a whole lot of trouble. And the reason I say that is because I'd only went 40 yards. Normally on a normal night, whenever I get everything going, everything strapped on me, we take off, we start moving through the woods, we're moving. We're making some tracks. We're going off trail, right? That's our logo. We're off trail. But that particular night when we got out there, whatever was out there, guys, I have no damn idea. It started howling. And it would sound like a human monster howl. I ain't joking. They were all around me, and they were close. I'm going to say 50 yards from my vehicle. That was a howl where I felt like I did not need to be there. That was a howl to where I felt like my life may be in jeopardy. I may be attacked. You got to remember, just because you're carrying something to defend yourself with down there doesn't mean you're going to be able to hit every one of them. These things move fast. And once you have that engagement and you hurt one of them or do worse to one of them, it's going to be worse. So my thought is, if you don't have to hurt one, it's better to leave, because I think that if you did actually unalive one of these things, you're probably going to have a whole pack on you, and you're probably not going to make it to your car. It's not going to matter what you're carrying. And that's just how I feel. I feel like that if they really don't want you to go home, you're not going to go home. I mean, and it's scary whenever I think about that, because sometimes I am down there and I am quite a ways from my vehicle and I am in the middle of nowhere, and 911 where I live is a long ways away, and we don't have 911 real good addresses out here yet. They're trying to establish it, but it's still a work. It's still a work in progress, and it can take a while. And we're in a small community, and when you're in a small community, you have small resources. And if you have to wait for larger resources to come, odds are it's not going to be a search and rescue. It's going to be a search and recovery. And that runs through my mind a lot of times whenever I get down there, because I am alone. We are in the middle of nowhere. Have I been lost in the woods down there? Absolutely. And tonight, I'm not poking no fun. I'm just speaking serious. There is no trail markers down there. If you get lost in some of those places down there, if you honestly cannot read the sky, you don't know where the creeks are at, and you don't know where certain objects are around you to be able to navigate, you can become very, very lost. There are first responders around here that know that people go lost down here all the time. Some of them don't survive it. It makes you wonder a lot of times what happens. There was a guy just a couple of years ago that was, people believe, pulled out of his boat while he was fishing at night. They found him 7 miles, guys, 7 miles from where his boat was capsized. He was a good swimmer, fished all of his life, knew the area he was in like the back of his hand. He was found 7 miles, 7 miles. And a lot of you will say, well, they found him in the current. That's where they found him. He was in the current. No, he wasn't in the current. That's the weird thing. He was about 2 miles out of the current over in an old, what do you call it? A coal pit that was connected to the lake. A Tulsa dive team actually had to come in, dive down, and pull him up in a, they wrapped him in a canvas tarp. People don't travel 7 miles out of a current. I can see if you were following a current, but you're not going to move up in a still water coal pit, right? I mean, these things are out there. They've been out there since I was a child. I grew up with them at my granny's. My mom grew up with them at my granny's. I'm still working on writing that book. I am going to get that book out. I've been talking to my mom and her brothers and sisters, and I want to get it right when I do it, because growing up was hell down there, and it was scary. And I do want to get that out to y'all so that you all will be able to read that book. I know a lot of you has been waiting on that book. But there's a lot of things going on right now, guys, that we need to be questioning. And that's what we're going to start doing here on this channel, is we're going to start questioning. I feel like I was taught a good set of skills. I feel like I have an advantage on a lot of the channels, as I am an investigator. I worked a long time, my whole life doing it. That was pretty much the main thing that I done. I had a cleat license for most of my life, and that's what I done. And now I want to apply it to this, not only so I can find answers for myself as to what these are and why they do what they do, but to where I can maybe help some of you answer some of your questions that maybe some of you have, is why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to have this encounter? Why are they doing this, right? I do believe that they are part Nephilim. I believe the name that I would call them would be Eliads. I think that they're more of an Eliad than a Nephilim. I believe they're a watered down Nephilim, but nonetheless, they come from the fallen angels. Biblically, me being a Christian, it just fits. I can't find anything else that fits. Whenever you put the investigative skills to it, the tactics to it, the brass tacks to it, it all fits biblically. And, I'm open to other ideas, but, as far as what I can find and from what I can study, it just all goes together. These things, I believe, are not here to be our friend. I think, given the opportunity, and I use opportunity because I do believe they are opportunistic. We know, guys, from if you talk to professional dog handlers. I don't know if she's in here tonight, but one of our moderators, Christine, she works with dogs. And you can ask any dog handler that you want to ask. I've talked to a lot of them in these investigations. These are professional dog handlers, and they will tell you coyotes, dogs, canines, they do not see humans as predation. We're not predation to them. They don't look at us like that. That's not what they do. That is totally out of what they do. So then you have to ask yourself, what does see us as predation out there? What is consuming people alive, hiding them under trees, hiding them under branches and wet leaves? What's walking bipedally down there? What stands at the edge of the lake in the dark and watches you with your children while you're fishing? What throws little sticks at your children and tries to get their attention? What makes little kitty cat noises or cries like a baby to try to get you to come out to see what it is? And what do we do when we find ourselves in that same situation, Mike? What I would suggest that you do is you rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ and you leave. That would be I believe that would be the most intelligent thing to do. Don't don't go out there and risk your life or your children's life or your husband's life or whoever you're with. Don't leave grandma sitting down there in her wheelchair by the creek when everybody takes off running, right? I mean, you don't want to wait too late to be able to leave. Don't wait till that last minute. There's always another day, another creek, another time to fish, or another time to camp. And I believe that some camping places are fine sometimes, because I go places sometimes that feels totally okay. Totally okay. But I can go to that same place a week later, guys, and I don't even want to be there. It feels like, my God, what is in here? Why do I not want to be here? And then you start hearing things, right? What do we always hear, guys? The hoot owls, right? We always start hearing the hoot owls. Hoot owls, for some reason, seem to signify that you're going to have an active night. Now, that goes back to native folklore. That goes back to native beliefs. That goes back to even the settlers, guys, were worried about the hoot owls. Now, a lot of the hoot owls that we hear down there sometimes, I don't think are hoot owls because they do not sound like hoot owls at all. Some of them sound to me like something trying to mimic a hoot owl. And then you'll hear them start communicating with each other. And when you start having the communications with the wood knocks, then okay, you're not dealing with hoot owls, because hoot owls ain't out there beating sticks on trees, right? So we know that that's not hoot owls. And Lynn says, in law enforcement, we are taught to be in condition yellow at all times. Absolutely, yeah. When I'm down there, I treat it, Lynn, just like I would whenever I was at work. I go by the 21-foot rule, and I know you know what I'm talking about, and I got to be careful with that on here, but Lynn knows what I'm talking about. I go by the 21-foot rule. You come within 21 feet of me, then we're gonna have an issue, because I'm going home, and we have little Dragon with us, and he's there to make sure that we go home, right, guys? So I think that do you get that too? Yeah, Vicky says, and Vicky's going to come on our show, that she has an inner person, or I think a spirit person or a spirit guide. She said that has told her that I need to be out of where I'm out of. Guys, we've all got different beliefs. Just like I talked about Wagner when he was on the show. Very nice guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. Very, very nice guy. He's a gentleman. Me and him don't agree on things. Okay, he believes that he's talking to these aliens that are nice to him. I believe that he's getting that intelligence from demons. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to attack him. He's not going to attack me, because we're both adults. But what we can both learn from what he's telling me is the information that he's providing. Now, we can both disagree on what he's talking to and what it is. But the one thing that two people have to agree on whenever you look at the evidence is there's something out there. That's the important thing. No matter what you call it or what you believe, the important thing is it is out there and it is communicating. That's very important. We can learn things by not agreeing with each other, guys. We don't have to all agree with each other. But we're all adults and we're able to speak to one another, and we can learn from each other. Because I can tell y'all, I believe they're Nephilim, and then I'm sure there's somebody in here that disagrees with that, and they're going to say, no, I don't believe they're Nephilim. I believe that there's more science and more proof that they're Giganopithecus. I think it follows more of that line. Okay, so let's say that me and this person disagree. I'm not going to attack them. They're not going to attack me. We may have a spirited debate. We might use evidence or of such to have a spirited debate or to share information or have a disagreement, which who cares? You could have a disagreement, still love somebody at the end of the night. Married couples do it every day. The thing is that we learn from it. So if he says it came from Gigantopithecus and I say, nah, it came from the Nephilim, the point is we both learned something, didn't we? Because we're both still agreeing there's something out there in the woods and it ain't human. I might call it Nephilim. He might call it Gigantopithecus. But at the end of the day, we're both saying there's something out there and we don't know what it is. That's the important thing. That's where your investigations start, is you build a concrete case. You have to start building a case before you have an argument. That's the main thing. Absolutely, Reverend. I agree 100%. We have to be able to have intellectual conversations, spirited debate, and be adults and be willing to say, I'm open to suggestion. And I may not believe what this person is saying, but this person does have information that may be important. Don't miss important information just because you may not believe something that somebody's saying, right? So, yep, that's right, Reverend. So, let's all support each other. Let's keep looking for the truth. Let's try to find out what these things are together, and maybe I can get answers and you all can get answers, and maybe you all can give me answers that I've been looking for that I don't have. That's why I love you guys. That's why I'm so blessed to have you guys supporting me. We are the abnormal family. We are strong. We are the rising phoenix. And maybe people's tried to tear us down because we are too close to the truth, because we give glory to God, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are trying to hide behind it now that never used it before. We've always gave glory to God. With that being said tonight, guys, that's all I have for you. I want to appreciate and thank each and every one of you for being here. I love you guys. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button for me on your way out tonight. It helps me so much. Share us out. If you would just share us out, guys, that helps so much. Even if it's just on your Facebook, guys, I'd appreciate that. Make a comment after the show. And don't forget, after the main conversation drops tonight, the live chat, guys, whenever it drops, because I'm sure we were probably reported at the wazoo, this will drop probably tomorrow. When you see the live chat, come back and give us a hype. We would appreciate that, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys right here in my heart, guys. I feel it every time. Don't think y'all are not important. Each and every one of you. I love having you here. We'll see you on the next one, guys. And remember, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. Good night, and God bless.
In the heart of the night, where the shadows play, Stephen Michael Bickey lighting up the way. Abnormal investigations, whispers in the trees, with boots on the ground, I'm chasing mysteries. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. I'm on the ancient woods, where legends come alive. I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Footsteps on the trail, echoes in the night, searching for the secrets hidden from the light. Cryptids roam the wild under the moon's embrace. With every rustle in the leaves, I feel their